It's not my case.
But maybe you could help. Please, neighbor. Talk to Detective Montag. At least see how it's going. Make sure he doesn't think he's on vacation just because the victim is an Aug.
I'll talk to the officer in charge and see where he is with the investigation.
Only for the experience points.
If I can help him, I will.
Thank you. Suppose I end up remembering something later. Is there a way for me to contact you?
You planning to run off on me already?
The first chance I get. There are times for standing in the cold, but this isn't one of them. I just want to go home, bolt the door, and never come out again. Of course, I will wait for Detective Montag to say it's okay first. And I'll still try to answer whatever questions you may have.
I can give you access to my info link. You should feel free to use it if you have to.
Thank you, neighbor. Talk to you about what happened.
How come she talks to him and not to me?
Pretty obvious what happened.
I'm not Montag. I don't need your help.
No.
So, Daria was actually talking to you, huh? I could barely get 2 words out of her. What did she say? Did she see anything?
You mean your witness over there? She's not sure yet.
How can she not be sure? Either she saw something or she didn't.
She's scared. She thinks she might be in danger. I told her she'll be fine and that whoever did this would be caught. I'd like to believe that's true.
Sure, so would I. But as you can see, the victim was like you, augmented. That makes things a little more complicated, eh? Being a cop in this city, it's not always about doing the right thing, or about doing things the right way.
I was a cop for 12 years. I know all about getting bad orders. The difference between what you're told to do and what you know is right.
Tell me about it. So, how did you reconcile yourself with those kinds of orders?
I quit.
I quit.
It's like he quit.
I'm 2 months away from the beach. I'm not quitting. But I respect your idealism.
It was a long time ago. I work for Interpol now.
Interpol, huh? Listen, off the record, I've been told to forgo any unnecessary investigation. I want you to know, it's not my idea of how things should be done.
Who told you to forego the investigation?
Men who spend more time making policies than arrests. They want the victim's husband, Johnny Gunn, ex-PMC operative. Heavily augmented.
All right. So if you're not comfortable with this, if you know things aren't being handled the way they should, why not do something about it?
I thought I just did. Just because my hands are tied doesn't mean Interpol can't conduct a parallel investigation. Crime scene's right over there, and Johnny lives just a couple of blocks from here.
I never said I was going to work your case for you.
Sure you did. Isn't that more or less the promise you made your little friend over there? She won't talk to a cop because she doesn't trust us. Smart girl. Look, my orders are to arrest the husband. You take a look around. Get to Johnny before my guys do. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually learn something.
I'll let you know what I find.
Careful of the evidence.
Interpol. Who do they think they are?
Ow. See, I want this as an entire game.
Just because Montag trusts him doesn't mean I do. Could be right around the corner.
I think he found something.
Away from the crime scene, sir.
We played LA Noire, and it was fantastic until the last 10 minutes of the game, where I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. because how do we resolve this entire game? Oh, he can't swim.
They love to tear us apart.
It's your turn to buy the coffee.
No, no, I refuse. I refuse to believe
This can't be.
that game ended the way it did. Left me so angry that I actually went and just read like the Black Dahlia, just so I could get some form of a fucking like complete story. Talk about a depressing book, by the way. Uber depressing book. Now I have these books to read. I haven't started them yet. Overlord. I got 1, 2, and 3. I think they're up to 13 now. No. There's been only one that could swim, right? No. In 5 they could swim. I think. CJ was the first one that could swim, right? In San Andreas? Which was way before LA Noire. Why couldn't he fucking make him swim? Anyway. If you have 30 minutes, like, watch Matt McMuscle's What Happened on LA Noire. There's a lot of shit behind that game that you do not see. Like, the director of the studio is a fucking actual psychopath.
Don't see that much. That might even fucking clank.
I'm more interested in how it might affect my portfolio. So, what do you think?
Yo, Nakul, what up? How you doing?
I don't want to miss out.
So we can clear the air.
Where you
Hey.
going?
Wait, how we can coexist.
Did you bring anything to drink? You bust into a man's home, you should at least bring a drink.
Are you Johnny Gunn?
That's true.
That's right. What do you want?
Have you heard about your wife?
Which one?
Excuse me?
I've been married a bunch of times. Which wife are we talking about?
The dead one. The one whose body they found torn
Not
apart
wrong.
by some animal.
She has a name, you know. Angie to those who knew her, Angela to you.
So you did know already.
Your detective friend called, told me to sit tight and wait for you, so here I am, sitting tight, being cooperative.
I need a drink before we start this. Hold on. Okay.
You don't seem too broken up about Angela's death. She was your wife, wasn't she?
Ex-wife. We were divorced.
Is that supposed to explain why you don't care?
People die. Whether or not I care is between me and my memories of them. It's got nothing to do with you.
You could still show some respect for the dead.
You've misinterpreted something. Angie's not the one I mean to be disrespectful to. You are. How I react to my ex-wife murder in front of you, the man accusing me of it, and how I react later when I'm alone, are two different things.
So the moment I leave, you're gonna start grieving, is that it?
Maybe. It's between me and Angela.
Anything else come to mind about Angela?
At night, her hair used to get in my nose and make it itchy. It was annoying, but nice. Made me feel human.
That's why I sleep away. Face the wall. Also so I don't get kicked in the balls by my dog. As happened many times.
Where were you tonight?
I was out killing Angie. Doing whatever it is they did to her. That's what you think, isn't it?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to know what happened.
Why? If anyone should want to track down the person who killed her, it should be me. But I choose not to. Case closed.
You don't care if her killer is caught or not?
No, I don't. I don't get off on vengeance. I say, let the bastard stir in his own damn guilt. Men who kill, I think they do it to get attention. They want to be caught. They want society to spank them just like their daddies did. Now, the real punishment for something like this is living with what you've done.
That's not how it works.
Why not?
For one, finding this killer will ensure they can't do it again. 2, society has a right to protect itself. And 3, where were you tonight?
In my apartment. Alone. No one but the cockroaches can confirm or deny shit. Convenient, right?
That's a lot of cigarettes next to the person.
You sure you didn't go anywhere tonight?
I went to the bathroom. Twice.
Is that a bell tower patch on your jacket?
Yeah. So?
Let's just say I'm familiar with bell tower.
What does that mean? Familiar how?
I took shit. Twice.
I'm familiar with their retirement plan. Looks like they're treating you real well, Johnny.
Fuck you. I was in New South Wales, man. Hell, I'm still there. Probably gonna spend the rest of my life trying to get out. See, this is the price a man pays to no longer take orders. And something tells me you're not paying it.
Australia. You were there during the Civil War?
That's right. And that was only the beginning. Not my first choice, believe me, but, Bell Tower wasn't all that big on choice. Send you where they want, make you do what they want, replace parts of you whenever and however they want.
I didn't choose to be augmented either.
I didn't
know
ask
when
for
it
this.
first happened.
Apparently we're supposed to be grateful. Alloy's so much better than skin, right? At least, that's how they sold it to me.
For some things it is. Not for everything.
I can walk through fire, but sand won't stick between my toes. I can shove a knife through my hand, but I can't trust what I feel. Even my dreams are made of alloy.
Both of your hands are made of alloy?
Fingers are for human beings, Mr. Gunn. What you have is so much greater. And then they told me what they want me to do.
Couldn't be
and
him
what
'cause his
happened to
fingerprint
me
was
if
left.
I didn't. Well, let me tell you something. That's not me anymore. Hasn't been for a very long time.
They found a partial print on Angela's neck. Belongs to whoever strangled her.
My hands were designed to kill in wars no one's ever heard of. I couldn't leave a trace on someone's skin, even if I wanted to.
They did it so you can kill better.
So I'd never get caught. Ironic, right? Being a good killer is probably what saves me here. Or, you still think I killed Angela?
I'm sorry for what Bell Tower did to you.
Don't be. They gave me tools they wanted me to have. That it was in their interest for me to have. But the decision to use them, that was all me. Now, if you don't mind, I'd very much like to be left alone.
Day and night, not only on aggressive treatment, but on new cures and methodologies.
Like, I've known some chain smokers in my life, but that's a lot of cigarettes. And most of them aren't even, like, fully smoked.
If there is a tomorrow. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer.
Take one down, you pass it around, DMCA around the corner for me. Actually, that song's probably, what, public domain? Same as, like, Merry Christmas or whatever the fuck. Was it 12 Days of Christmas?
98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98
You were
bottles of
sober.
beer.
Not anymore. Fire!
Last year, the collective shut down London's traffic grid.
Hey, Neuropazine. Sorry, that's gonna suck for you because I took it. Okay. Alright. Look, I have somewhat of a drinking problem, but I don't stack beer cases in my bathroom.
Something, need more beer on the wall. Why don't they deliver? Something, beer.
Wait. Oh, below me. Wait. This man has a square toilet. Maybe it's comfortable. Never know. Ugh. I do wonder, obviously, like, don't tell me, but I do wonder if there's more locations other than Prague, or if, like, the entire game takes place in Prague. Like, in Human Revolution, you went from Detroit to Hong Kong, and then to Antarctica. You had multiple locations. This is all just, like, the city.
I have a permit. It's not like they did not see me work with you.
What a fucking
You would think you would try to conceal.
The fuck am I doing in here? Oh. Yellow. Oh, oh. Oh my. Dude, I want a basement bar. Fuck. It's like the only thing I would do if I owned a basement. I'd just make a bar.
By the way, I told Daria to go home. I really don't think she saw anything.
Alright, I have some questions about the murder.
Before we go any further with this, I need you to know something about Johnny Gunn. He's not a good man. I may not like how my bosses are targeting him, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. So, you know, just make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Why else would I be here?
I don't want this to turn into some kind of crusade. Bad men do bad things. In a perfect world, we arrest them for the right reasons, but, well, the world's not always perfect.
You'll only arrest the victim's husband if the evidence tells you to, right? It's not enough that he's an Aug, and that your bosses want him to go down.
I'll hold my guys off for as long as I can. But unless you can prove someone else killed Angela, or at the very least that Johnny didn't, I don't have much choice. That's why I'm trusting you to talk to him. Give me your honest opinion on what happened here.
Yeah. Why are you trusting me exactly?
Because you gave me the impression of being qualified. Because I'm big enough to admit that maybe I can use the help, and between you and me, because the thought of confronting a man like Johnny Gunn scares the shit out of me.
How long have you been a cop?
Too long. And of all the ways to go out, eh?
What do you mean?
I mean being assigned a case like this. It's HQ's little joke before sending me off to retirement. Oh, but don't worry about me, eh? I'm a survivor. I can make it through this.
This case is a joke to you?
I didn't say that. I said it's a joke to HQ. They know I haven't left my desk in years. But that doesn't mean I'm not qualified.
I do like how media, like video games or movies, always use that when it comes to like older cops, where it's like, oh, I'm like weeks away from retirement, or he was like days away from retirement. It's because like when a cop retires, like they literally don't have to do a damn thing for the rest of their life because of pension. And depending on where they end up and at what point do they actually retire, like you can retire I think at 35, 45, like depending on when you started. So it's one of those things of like the longer you stay in and the higher you get up, like the crazier your pension is at the end of it. Like my grandfather, who retired as a cop in the 80s, I think, is still getting paid a buttload of money every year from his pension.
People hold a hell of a grudge against Augs ever since the incident.
Yes, and?
Well, good thing the cops here are such professionals. Part of being a police officer is treating everyone the same, right? Aug or no Aug.
It's not that simple, and you know it. A police force isn't some abstract ideal of what justice and law should be. It's an instrument of those in power. A reflection of the society it protects.
I haven't been seeing a whole lot of protection out there.
Well, that depends who you ask.
I'm here because I don't like the idea of someone killing people right outside my window. Maybe he's out there right now, targeting that poor witness. Or maybe he's just looking for any chance to do it again.
Fair enough, Mr. Interpol.
Do you know if the victim had any enemies?
I know she and Johnny didn't get along. Other than that, I really couldn't tell you.
Were you able to get anything out of the witness? Sounded like she might have seen something.
Who? Little Miss Mousy? I was under the impression Daria was your domain. Apparently, I'm not good enough.
Apparently.
Tell me about the victim's husband, Johnny.
He used to work for a private military company, Bell Tower. He's been arrested for all sorts of things in the past. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in evidence. But I also believe in playing the odds. 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
Why are your superiors
it's
so
Rusty.
eager to pin Johnny for murder? It's gotta be more than just...
It's Rusty
not
from LA
liking the
Noir.
guy.
Standard policy for guys like Johnny. The way they see it, you send a man like him into Golem City, and he's liable to go off the grid, end up with Ark or God knows who. He becomes 10 times more trouble than he's worth. But if they can charge him with something big, something like murder, well, suddenly he's no trouble at all.
Did the killer leave anything behind? Does anything strike you as odd?
I don't know. It's a murder, you know? Doesn't matter if you look at it sideways
Where
or
is
upside
Prague?
down. It's never going to look normal.
Country-wise. Was it Czech? I don't. My global geography is all fucked up.
I found a broken needle stuck in the victim's shoulder. The killer might have drugged Angela before killing her.
Maybe, but keep in mind she was an Aug. Don't you all have to shoot up that new pause shit?
That
Let's
sounds
go
about
for
right.
the
Is it?
obvious
Is it
before
Czech
jumping to
Republic?
any wild conclusions.
I'm assuming you know her augments were harvested. The marks on her body
I know
make it
it's
seem
like-
like the killer knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what he wanted.
Southern,
The way you
Southeast
said that just now.
Europe, right?
What about it?
The way you described the Aug removal. And before, you mentioned a broken needle in the right shoulder.
That's right.
It reminds me, you know. There was this cop, Smolinski. He used to work in this neighborhood. He had this theory about a copycat. Someone acting just like a dead killer named, Svobotka.
You think there's a connection to another case?
I don't know yet. But I remember him mentioning something about needles and Aug removal.
It's in the Czech Republic? Okay.
Smolinski died in the
Alright, so
police
my brain
station
isn't too
bombing.
fucked up.
Whatever files he had would have been moved into temp storage across the street from the bombed out station. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing.
I found a print on Angela's neck, next to the contusion marks. It's a partial, so I don't think we can match it to anything. But at least we know the killer left something, and that she was strangled.
Huh. A fingerprint. I must have missed that one. This is exactly the kind of evidence I'm talking about. No way Johnny could squirm his way out of something like that. If only we could link it to him.
It's like I won that trivia question too.
Anything I should know about the scene? Anything jump out at you?
The dismembered body jumps out at me. Keep in mind, I've been behind a desk for the last 12 years. It all jumps out at me.
I found what looks like a grenade fragment. EMP by the looks of it. Killer might have used this to incapacitate her.
Interesting. Johnny wouldn't need an EMP to take down his